Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Sienna here with a brand new pick a card reading. Today we're getting our love predictions for 2025. We have two piles here. We have pile 1 with our sparkly white quartz and pile 2 with our amethyst. I think you guys already know how this works, but for those of you who don't, that is totally fine and also welcome. You're going to choose whichever pile, 1 or 2, or whichever stone resonates most with you and piques your interest the most, and that's going to be the reading that's best for you. We are getting messages for each group. We're going to have a section for our single viewers and then a section for our viewers that are in a relationship. And so I'll have not only a timestamp to pile 1 or pile 2, but we'll have a timestamp for singles and a timestamp for the couples reading. So I think we're ready to begin. All right, pile 1. Thank you, first of all, for clicking on this video and watching and tuning in, and this is going to be your reading. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in the deck, I'm going to just move that nicely out of the way, and we're going to shuffle. So these are the love predictions for 2025, and I think first I will pull some cards for our single viewers, and then a couple of runes and an oracle, and then we're going to keep that actually at 3 of Pentacles. And then we're going to switch it up and get some messages, you know, reshuffle and all that, and get messages for our viewers who are in relationships. So if this is, excuse me, if this is not what you're looking for, if you are not single right now and you're in a relationship already, you can jump to the correct timestamp. You will find that in the description and in a pinned comment. I'm getting a drink of water. And that's better. And we're gonna shuffle, and you know what? We will just start with, whoa, that one fell out. We're gonna start with those 3 that came out, and then we can always pull some more or do what we need to do as necessary to get a deeper message. And yeah, I think we will actually definitely pull a few extra cards here, but so far, okay, 3 of Pentacles. There's something about you no longer will have to do something alone anymore. I'm seeing this as like working together or some kind of like a collaboration opportunity. Now, the first impression I'm getting here, and this is going to be specific for some of you, it'll resonate, and for others it's not, and if it doesn't, that's okay. Please don't worry about it. I think you're going to meet somebody, it's like at work or through work. You might be introduced to someone through a colleague. Maybe they're in a different department or in a different, actually could be a different business, but in your same industry. And you have some kind of like a mutual friend or connection that's like, oh, hey, have you met so-and-so yet? Oh, well, you know, here, let me introduce you guys. Like maybe there's something about, honestly, if you are going to like your work's like office Christmas party or, you know, whatever, there is a really good chance you could meet that person there too. I see something about that. It's just like, there's this energy of like fun, socialization and networking and like actually fun, not just like mandatory paid fun where you have to pretend you like it and not complain. No. This person that you'll be meeting, I have here King of Swords. Now the gender on the cards is not really that important. It's the energy that's present. The King of Swords is somebody who is very wise, and it's somebody who is, I'm getting here, very well educated. Someone who knows exactly what they're doing. They've been, you know, practicing whatever skills it is. They've been doing it for a while. They're very confident. They're very good at what they do. So if this is like in a work setting, let's say, we're going to still go with that. And like you meet someone through your work, this is somebody that is going to, I think, be able to help you. Ooh, I like this. And I think this is how it starts, is you have like a good working relationship together. They help you. They're like, maybe you're struggling with something that they've actually done before. And they're like, oh yeah, you know what? That was really hard. But you know what I tried that worked was this. And then maybe, you know, they teach you how to do it and then you try it and it actually works. Oh my God. Because then we have like Death here with transformation where it's like, that was a huge project, or I'm getting something, this is very specific and is only going to resonate with a few, but something about like programming and like doing back end work or something like that. And I'm not a programmer or a developer. I don't really know a lot of this, but I trust the examples and the images that Spirit gives me. Anyway, with the like the programming and the excuse me, development example, it's like, oh, there's this bug that I have not been able to figure out. Like maybe it's like I can't figure out where in the code something went wrong, or like I know where it went wrong, but I've tried this, I've tried that, I can't get it to work. What the hell is going on? And this person comes in and is like, oh, well, have you tried changing maybe this or like using this instead? Again, I'm not an expert, so but you know, I think you get what I mean though, where it's like, well, have you tried looking at it this way? Or, oh yeah, I had that issue as well. You know what actually works is if you type in this command instead, and then it should work. And then you try and you're like, holy crap, it worked. And you know, it's like, wow, this huge problem has been solved. And you know, it's like, wow, we made such a big breakthrough on this project. Now, without the work example, Spirit, let's get some insights otherwise. Oh, I have this backwards. I don't think it really matters though, but you know. Yeah, okay. So different from the work example, there's still this like collaborative and maybe cooperative energy where it's like you don't have to do it alone anymore. I think you've become very used to the single life. If we want to do timing with tarot, I'm seeing here you could have been single for the last 3 years. And, you know, maybe you were perfectly happy doing things just for yourself and living for yourself and doing things on your own. And that's awesome and that's great. But Spirit's just like in here saying, well, you don't have to. You know, you can have a companion here. It's somebody that is like on your same level, like mentally and intellectually. Perhaps you see a lot of things in the same way or in a close enough way that you can agree. Yeah, this is like you're a smart person, but you're also like going to meet or get into relationship with a really smart person. I'm seeing something about like intellectual debates, deep conversation. It's not just the surface stuff anymore. And this brings out a huge transformation for your life, group 1. Where, you know, perhaps, like I said, you were probably doing just fine on your own and, you know, going through your life's path and stuff on your own. But for whatever reason, this other person being brought in, yeah, like I said, brings about huge change within you. And there's something here about like your spiritual development, helping you to level up spiritually. And it is literally Spirit saying you know, you can go through this and awaken and get to your next level of enlightenment. You can do that while you're single, but you don't have to. You don't have to. Let's see if we can get any more extra info for my singles from group 1 who are watching. I still think that you'll meet this person. Just like the work example, like for those who resonated with meeting this person through your job, I still think you do meet this person through some kind of like a mutual connection. Like this person that's going to come into your life is like a friend of a friend that perhaps you hadn't met before, but then you do, and you really hit it off and you have some kind of like great conversation or something, you know, and that's how it starts. But let's see, what else can we get for our singles in group 1? Ooh, okay, 9 of Pentacles, security, and having everything you need. Okay, and 6 of Cups fell out, and we're going to keep that. And I'm going to scoot these up so that you can actually see all of them now. Okay. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, you guys were definitely... You get into a relationship in the future now because you want to, not because you feel like you need to. You're 100% like, I know who I am and I love myself and I'm secure with who I am. And that is a wonderful, amazing place to be. And I'm extremely happy for you. And I'm like congratulating you. But, you know, getting into this relationship that's coming, and I do feel that there is a relationship coming in 2025 for you. You still have that security. You still know who you are. You still call all the shots for your own life. You know, when we are in relationship, we do have to at least give our partner a heads up when we're about to make a decision. Oftentimes, sometimes it's you need that joint consent before you do something. And sometimes you just need to give that person a heads up. Hey, you know what? I'm going to be doing this. And whether you like it or not, this is just something I'm doing. But your partner's going to have the maturity to be like, yeah, sure. Do what you need to do, babe. That's fine. So there's security. You're not feeling the need to check each other's phones. That's something I'm getting. You won't feel the need to go through any of their stuff, and they won't feel the need to go through any of yours, because it's like you trust each other. You have a solid relationship, and I think because it starts off with becoming good friends, you end up with like this solid relationship. I love this. This is amazing. Great levels of security and peace, and just feeling something about being tethered. And it's not in a bad way. Not like being tethered like you are chained to each other, or, tethered as in, oh no, I'll lose touch with who I am and my reality if I'm not in relationship with this person. No. It's tethered like, how's the best way to explain this? Like you want to be together. Okay. And I'm getting now, Spirit's trying to show me something. It's the image of a rubber band. Okay. I kind of get this now. It's a tether. It's not a leash. It's not a chain, but I'm seeing like a rubber band. So maybe this is you and this is your person. And, you have great times together, and being together is awesome and fun, but you are able to give each other space when you need to. You're able to take time for yourself, and they're able to take time for themselves. But your relationship is still healthy, and you still, come back together and reconnect. And I'm getting something about make up for lost time. What is that about, Spirit? Oh, interesting. Okay. I think the song, it's an 80s song. I think it's called Alone. I don't remember who it's by, but I just, Spirit just gave me, I think it's the chorus or something in my head. And I don't know if I should sing it because I don't want to be DMCA'd, but it's like, it goes, till now, I always survived on my own, or I always got by on my own, or something like that. And then it goes, I never really cared until I met you. There's this long time of being single, and I think this is for you and your person. Actually, I think this person that's coming into your life has been single for a long time. And they're like, we got to make up for this lost time, but this term is being used very loosely. It's not like any time was wasted or lost by being single, but it's like, why hadn't I met you sooner? That's the vibe I'm picking up, is like, oh my God, I wish I'd met you 9 years ago, or oh my God, where were you 3 years ago at this point in my life? Or and the way that you just come together, it's like, it'll be like as if you'd known each other for years. Wow, stuttering and all that aside. And then we have the Six of Cups here. I'm seeing now, actually, you could have both come from very similar childhoods and similar upbringing, and you could both be nostalgic for some of the same things. Perhaps you liked the same shows, or the same games, or just had very similar experiences that you can both be nostalgic for. I'm also seeing, nostalgia. Again, with this nostalgia, the start of your relationship. Okay, that's what okay. Yeah, the start of your relationship here is something that in the future you're like, oh my gosh, those were the good old days. I feel as though you're always going to be in that, these are the good old days while they're still the present day. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, later on in the future, you look back on this time early in your relationship and you're like, oh, that was just, we were so young. We were just babies, or, we were just so sweet. Or oh man, that was just, it was just so, what is the word? Is it kismet? Kismet. Anyway, that word, the word spelled out came to me. I don't actually know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I've always called it kismet. If you know the proper way to say it, just tell me in the comments. Sometimes Spirit gives me actually spoken words, and sometimes I just see letters and spellings and stuff. But anyway, yeah, you become so nostalgic for this time that's going to be coming up soon. Now, we're going to do some runes. Volume warning, by the way, especially for my viewers who use headphones, because these are a little bit loud when I mix them up. Ooh, okay, wow. So, Gable rune. Okay, that's like, there's a gift. So, you know, perhaps you do gift each other some lovely things. Maybe that is one of your love languages, is thoughtful gift. Oh, you know what? I saw this and it made me think of you. Or, you know, I made this for you. But there's also like an exchanging of like oaths and vows. And I think that this, whoever it is that you are meeting here for 2025, like this is your forever person. And it's because you're ready. You're in a place in your life where you're ready for that kind of commitment and that kind of responsibility. So I'm extremely excited for you. And I know this rune, it looks like an X, but Gable rune is supposed to represent letter G. So G could be significant. X could be something significant too. Or if we want to go by the Roman numerals, perhaps there's like 10, something significant about the number 10. You know, we'll just keep putting that there. And then the next one we had was the Nauthiz rune. Looks like the Gable rune, but just slightly different. I'm trying to get my camera to focus on it. It's a little bit tough, but there, that should do. Now that is for the letter N, represents letter N. So N could be something significant to you as well. You know, could be like your partner's name begins with an N, or there's just something about maybe the place where you meet. Maybe that begins with an N. Perhaps it's you meet in November of 2025. Again, however that resonates, that letter N is going to be important for you. Actually, I'm not done talking about this rune. I don't know why I set it down. Now, this rune is often associated with like necessity and needs. But what I get here is like, you don't need each other. It's not a desperation. You don't need this person in the way that you need oxygen. But when you are together, you prefer being together over being apart. And you prefer being in relationship to this person. You were happy single, but once you are with this person, you've been with them for a while, you prefer their company over being alone. And there's like some kind of a need, like that. It's not a need out of desperation, but perhaps it's like a very strong preference. Anyway, I'm also seeing something about you're helping to meet each other's needs. So maybe there are emotional, first of all, I do pick up emotional needs. There are physical needs that you're going to help each other with, of course, and like intimate needs like that. But yeah, emotional needs and like mental, like you stimulate each other mentally on top of everything else. Excuse me. Yeah, and there's some kind of like, perhaps you need that intellectual conversation, or like you need that rational, logical person to be there in your life. You need, yeah, I like this. You need the grounding that this person's able to provide for you, and perhaps they need the creativity and the imagination. I see, and I did say earlier, you're both very smart people, but I think your person is going to be more analytical and rational, while you are more free-flowing and open-minded and like emotionally led and maybe creatively led. But you both need these aspects of each other in order to maybe balance out and sort of ground each other. They help to ground you, and perhaps you kind of help to open their mind a little bit. So that's nice. I love seeing that kind of a balance in your relationship. Our next rune is this one. It looks kind of like an hourglass, but it's the Dagaz or Dagaz. I'm still learning runes, you guys. So if you know the proper way to pronounce these, please correct me in the comments. I thrive on constructive criticism and correction so that I can learn better for the future. Anyways, this is supposed to be for the letter D. So we have G, N, and D. D could be significant, you know, again, like any of these letters could be like what your future partner's name begins with. D could be significant. Perhaps you meet in December. It could be December, like coming up 2024, because we did see that for some of you, you were actually going to meet at like a work Christmas party. Or it could be December 2025, but I feel as though you meet sooner in the year rather than later. So that could be significant for you. I guess we'll still hold this up. Anyway, day and dawn is often the association with this one. It's a new chapter in your life. It's a new it's a new era. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, this era of my life," and they throw it around very casually, but this is like a big deal for you. It is literally the dawning of a new part of your life. Your life and your person's life and your life together. Yeah, this is confirmation from Spirit that you've done really well on your own for the last few years, but now it's time for something new. It's time to let in a brand new opportunity. The dawning of a new day, the dawning of a new love. We're going to get a Moonology card for you guys. Just for a little bit more insight or a little more advice, just a last word from Spirit for my single viewers. I love seeing right off the bat, pile one, that there is a new person coming in and they're just going to be so good for you. Yeah, look at this. A win-win outcome is forecast. I'm not an astrologer, full disclosure, so I understand the phases of the moon and like the zodiac and stuff, but full moon in Libra season. I know Libra season's like September, October. September, it's like the 22nd of September to the 22nd of October, something like that. You know, that could be a significant time for you. Perhaps you guys meet, you know, 2025 or like December 2024, you build up this relationship. And then when it comes Libra time, or Libra season 2025, that's when you guys get serious and you're like, yeah, we're going to be committed. Like we're an item. That could be. But either way, win-win outcome is forecast. This is good for you. This person is coming into your life. You will have a good relationship. I pick up just good vibes. It's healthy. You're both mature enough emotionally and mentally and even spiritually to come together in a way that is just best. That's most meaningful and most effective for both of your happiness and your spiritual growth and your personal growth. So congrats to my singles watching pile one. I'm going to go ahead and put these back in the deck, and then we're going to take a look for messages for my viewers who are in relationships. Okay, so that was our message for the singles. Now, we're going to shuffle and we're going to get some messages for those who are already in relationships watching. So, our 2025 love predictions for couples, or those, couples, or, otherwise in some kind of committed romantic relationship. Okay. What are the 2025 predictions for my coupled up viewers? Spirit, what do we get? Let's see. Okay, Emperor, 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups. We'll start with these 3, and then we can always add some more cards as necessary as we go to get even deeper insights or just more clarification should we need it. So, all right, let me get a drink of my coffee. Okay. Put these so that you can see all of them with as little light glare as possible. Okay, anyway. Emperor. This one's really interesting because husband vibes. Well, I mean, the Emperor is the card for the husband or the father or the, the male head of the household. The Empress is about like the wife, the mother, the female head of the household. But in this case, we got Emperor. I'm going to clarify this Emperor. What is this referring to? I do, again, see nostalgia here. Again, I say again because with our singles, we did see this come up, and it was talking about how, the single viewer watching this and their person would have similar things to be nostalgic over. In this case, for the couples, nostalgia for like the relationship itself and how far you've come, and how reflecting on the past and your journey together brings you closer together in 2025. I just want to double check with this Emperor. Temperance. Okay. Now, the gender, the Emperor is the husband, head of the house, whatever. The gender is not the most important thing here. It's the energy. So this could still refer to like a female who has maybe is more masculine in their energy, or is perhaps more like assertive, is more of like the boss. Like perhaps there's like could be a woman that's the saying is wearing the pants in the relationship. Anyway, this person, I see where they've had perhaps a very tough facade. Well, I'm the strong one. No, and I'm the provider, and I take care of you. You don't take care of me, and you don't worry about me. I take care of you. I worry about you. I do all this for you. But we have here Temperance and Six of Pentacles. Now, maybe over time, and perhaps we'll see more of it in 2025, where this person, if you are in a heterosexual relationship, it would be the male partner, will be basically softening up more as 2025 goes on. And they allow for you to actually step in and take care of them when they need to, or when they want you to. Yeah, Temperance. There's something. This male partner or partner with the more masculine energy is going through a healing transformation, and they are going to need your help and your support. And where in the past, maybe they were like, no, you don't worry about me. I take care of you. And, we went through all that. I take care of you and I worry about you. Well, this time they're going to be like, well, you know what? I actually do really appreciate when you take care of me. Or like, I really do like being, the one that's being doted on and fawned over and worried about and taken care of. Yeah, they're allowing you to see kind of a softer side of them as they heal. I think, they're healing from whatever it is in their life that did cause them to put up this like tough, perhaps even gruff exterior. And the tough boundaries and no, I'm the strong one. I'm the pillar. I'm the rock. Well, you knew all along in your heart that it went both ways, right? They're going to be much more accepting of you being their rock. Now, you have been their rock from day one, and I see that. But they didn't really, I don't know if admit is the right word to use, but they didn't really acknowledge that or verbalize that to you, how much they really do depend on you, and how much they lean on you, that they lean on you just as much as you do for them. They're going to start letting you see that aspect of themselves as the year goes on. And then we do still have, with the Six of Cups, the nostalgia for your relationship, for your journey and where things started and where you're at now, and how that nostalgia and that thinking about, oh man, like what a ride, how that has brought you closer, and your experiences together over time has brought you closer. Well, this healing stage here that your partner is going through, this is going to bring you closer together as well. I pick up like you already do have this like solid, strong relationship where you are close with each other, but it's like they're letting you in even closer to them, closer to their inner world, closer to their heart, closer than you already are. I'm seeing like deeper levels of emotional intimacy. Could be physical as well, but I pick up very strongly deeper levels of emotional intimacy. And whoa. After, yeah, I see this after a long time of your partner being like, maybe not being very open emotionally, or maybe not even being that in touch emotionally. I don't want to say they don't have a lot of emotional intelligence, because I think they do, but they just never really allowed themselves to get in touch with their feelings. You know, they can identify, oh, I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel mad, I feel scared. But they have never really taken the time to be like, okay, why do I feel like this? And they've never really let themselves take the time to actually like feel the feeling and then let it pass. They just kind of were like, nope. They kind of just stuffed it, ignored it. And it did cause, I'm getting the words arrested development. And I mean that as in perhaps like emotional development. Like it was hard for them to develop a stronger emotional intimacy in your relationship because they were not fully allowing themselves to feel and acknowledge their own emotions, if that makes sense. Now with the arrested development, perhaps that's a show you guys watch together. That could be something, but that wasn't exactly what I meant when that word came up. But, that could still be significant to you in that way. It's a very good show. It's very funny. I'm sure that you could bond together over watching it or rewatching it or something like that and have some good laughs there. What else? Any other messages that we can get through the tarot? Knight of Cups. Okay. Yeah, so this person who was much more perhaps serious or logical or analytical or just otherwise maybe closed off emotionally or just very cautious emotionally. I see Knight of Cups where, well, we did see that earlier where they soften up a little bit, where they start to be a little bit more romantic towards you. Now, like you can absolutely love someone, but not be a very romantic person and maybe not be very good at expressing exactly how they feel about you. Like you get a lot of I love yous from this person and they mean it and they're sincere when they say it. But maybe I'm seeing something about like bearing their soul in some other way. Like perhaps they become a lot more descriptive in like what it is that they love about you and how you make them feel. Like I'm seeing like just like this outpouring. Yeah, it's like an outpouring of emotions and like it's this kind of, it's a big step for them. There's major vulnerability here that they're showing to you. Okay, so the image I'm getting here from Spirit is that of a porcupine. Okay. Yeah, they're very pokey, on their backs and for most of their body, but they roll over. And if you see a porcupine's little belly, it's very soft and it's sensitive, it's delicate. They're showing you, they're going to start, I guess, they're kind of the porcupine that's rolling over and exposing their belly to you, exposing their deepest thoughts and feelings towards you. And they're going to be showing you, and I'm seeing it's through words. A lot of them it's through words, but it's also through just actions and little things that they do for you. And I'm also picking up, like I'm hearing thank you. So they're going to be, it could be them outright just saying thank you for taking care of me, thank you for loving me and thinking about me, but it's thank you like in other ways too. It's on such a deep level. just this like deep level of appreciation that they have for you. They did not have the words for it before, but perhaps in 2025 they do find the words eventually, or they find a way to express to you just how deeply they appreciate and love you. Okay, we're going to now volume warning, because these runes are a little loud when I mix them around. We're going to throw a couple of runes. How many did we get? 1, 2. Okay, we got 3. I tossed 4, but we got 3 that are face up. So we're going to go with those. Okay. Now we have the Othala rune. Trying to get it to the camera to, maybe focus a little better on it. These runes are so pretty. I love the blue. Anyway, we have the Othala rune, and that is the letter O. So letter O could be significant. Maybe your name or your partner's name begins with an O, or there's just something else significant about that letter. Often associated, this card, with property, or like inheritance, inheriting a property, or inheriting like valuable things. Perhaps you guys, maybe 2025 is when you purchase your first home. Maybe you've been renting, all this time, which is totally 100% okay. But maybe 2025, you're ready to actually put a down payment or buy a home together. There's something about like permanence. There's like, you've been together a while. I see that. And so I'm feeling like emotionally and stuff, you've settled down and all that, but there's just, something about physically settling down, like permanently. Again, I keep getting that message of like you're buying a home, or it could be that you're selling your home too. That could also be, and like moving to a place where you're going to settle down permanently. I'm going to just set this aside here and have a little drink of my coffee. Hang on. It doesn't necessarily have to just be about housing, though that is like a really big vibe, big thing that came in with that rune. But it could also be like with the possessions or the material things, perhaps a vehicle. I am seeing I'm seeing the mental image of somebody driving off the lot of the dealership, and it's a nice car. I'm actually seeing it's white, the vehicle that I'm being shown through spirit. Now this is going to be very specific and may only resonate with 1 or 2 or whatever. But I do see a white vehicle. It's bigger. It's kind of maybe an SUV, maybe a little bit smaller, but yeah, it's nice though. It's it's a good quality. It doesn't necessarily have to be brand new, but it's good quality and it's reliable and it's better than what you had before. So that could be something. Maybe you're going in together to purchase a vehicle, or like, a family car or something like that. Anyway, next we have Wunjo. And this is actually, I think the letter W, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure it is. Even though the rune itself kind of looks like it could be a letter P. Oh yeah, Wunjo is W. Anyway, so W could be something significant, could be like your name or their name, or there could be something about Wednesday, could be an important day of the week. Maybe you close on like that housing deal or that vehicle or whatever it is on a Wednesday. This is weird because I am not American, but I am picking up on Wisconsin. So maybe that's like some place you go to together, or a place that holds some kind of special meaning to you. That's going to be very specific. Again, not sure why Spirit gave that to me, as I'm from Canada and don't really know anything or anyone from Wisconsin. But again, that could be very significant to you. Anyway, the Wunjo rune, with it being about joy, yeah, you're unlocking. I just see that, unlocking, and I'm getting an image from Spirit. It's like achievement unlocked, like you're playing a game and you beat like a really tough level or a tough chapter or whatever. It's like achievement unlocked, and you have like all of these new perks and like awesome privileges and great things. And it's like, oh, sweet. I'm seeing that for your relationship. And we did see that there were going to be new levels of intimacy and new levels of emotional connection. And that is going to bring you closer. And I think it is going to bring you much more joy than you've already been feeling. And this is awesome because I feel for you guys, couples that are watching group 1, you already have like a really good and solid and happy relationship. You're nostalgic for the journey over the last, it could be a few years, it could be many years, but it's like awesome. You're opening up to even greater and deeper levels of joy. So that is amazing news. And then our last rune here is, what is this one called? I can't remember what that one's called. Oh, it's the Jera rune, letter J. So J could be another significant letter. So what did we have for letters? We had O, W, and J. Again, could be, initials or names or just something. Like J could also be like January. Perhaps January, like right into the start of 2025 is when your partner kind of starts opening up more to you or something like that. Anyway, with our Jera runes, we have cycles and harvests and like rewards for one's hard work. This makes perfect sense because for your partner who's going through this like healing and getting more in touch with their own emotional side and there could be a lot of things that they're processing, and a lot of these things could be very, very difficult. That is hard work. That healing journey, that becoming more vulnerable, even more vulnerable to people that you already love and trust. Just allowing them in that extra little bit more, that one step further, or allowing them in that little bit closer, that is really hard work. And so I see that. I see where, yes, that can feel very laborious. But the reward, again, we have here with the better intimacy, the closer relationship, the greater levels of joy and happiness and connection with each other. That's the reward for this hard work of your partner doing whatever inner work or shadow work that they're going to be doing. And the hard work also of being, of you being that supportive person. Because that can be difficult too. It can be difficult. It's kind of hard to explain, but it can be difficult to watch your partner have to process things, especially things that are very painful and or traumatic. And it's for their best good, but it's still hard to watch. It's still hard to see the person that you love be sad or stressed or uncomfortable, even if you consciously know that it is going to benefit them in the future. And sometimes being that supportive person, it can just be difficult in general. Sometimes maybe you just don't know how to handle, maybe they tell you something they went through in the past and you're not exactly equipped to handle that and have like a good answer for that. But I really feel like your job here is to just be there for them. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be the therapist, but you keep offering up your love and your support, and you validate their feelings and you validate their experiences, and you just let them know that you're not going anywhere. Like, they can go through this journey and you're there to help them and be there alongside them the whole way. And the reward for that is, I love it, that increased happiness and closeness. And that's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing for my group ones. We're going to pull a Moonology card and get a little bit of extra advice or insight or information, whatever it is extra that Spirit wants to share. 2025 love predictions for the couples or those who are in relationship who are watching group 1. being drawn to, it's hard to grab it. It's this one. What is this one? Balance spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Now, I'm not an astrologer, but perhaps Pisces season. That is, when is that? Is that February sometime? I think it's kind of like in the earlier part of the year anyway. So something about Pisces season could be really significant. Perhaps that's when a lot of this like work and transformation starts happening. But we have balance, spirituality, and practicality. Your partner could be, I think we did kind of go over this earlier. I can't really remember now. It's been 20 minutes, but yeah, they could be more logical and analytical, practical, and you're more free-flowing and creative and spiritual. I think this is like a message here for your partner where they are going to start. They do watch you. For those of you who are watching this who have a spiritual practice, they are aware of that. They do watch, they do observe you. They see how it has affected your life and they're like, well, I want that happiness that she has. Or like, I want that sense of inner peace and guidance that she has or he has. And, you know, rationally, they're like, yeah, well, I have to, you know, oh, well, it's just not practical. You can't just, you know, sit and meditate and get answers. Or like, you can't just get this like divine guidance or whatever without, where's the proof? Where's the evidence, etc. They start to open up more. I think as they heal, they're like, oh, I kind of get it now. Where they're more going on like intuition. Perhaps they have a strong intuition, but they have learned to ignore it and ignore their gut feelings and ignore the like that inner voice, that guiding voice, because they prioritize the rationality and the practicality. But I see this. Okay. I think a good way that in which you are a support for this person is the spiritual faith that you already have, your ability to just trust and to accept love from the divine, from spirit. They watch you and they're going to start learning from you. So your influence on them this way it's going to be really amazing actually for their growth. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. So that is really good. I think this is very good news for you, for my group ones. That is the reading I have for you. Those are the messages I have for you. If you want to go into this a little bit more in depth or in a more personalized way, because pick a card readings I think they are really, you know, amazing and insightful. You get all kinds of really good information from them, but they're meant for large groups, right? They're not as individualized as a one-on-one reading. So if that is what you're looking for, the more one-on-one, I do have private readings open. The link should be in the description, but it is calendly.com/wildrosetc. And you can always book with me through there or email me wildrosetc@gmail.com. I hesitated, but yeah, wildrosetc@gmail.com. If I said that incorrectly, either way, you're going to find it in the description. And then, you know, if I fucked up my own email address somehow, I'll put the correct one on screen. But anyway, that's how you can get a hold of me. Again, thank you so much for watching this, for tuning in, for selecting your pile, and I will see you again next time. All right, pile 2. This is going to be your reading. If you chose the amethyst here, these will be the messages that you need for your love predictions for 2025. We're going to start with readings or our messages for our single viewers. We're going to get shuffled here. Whoop. Okay, that one fell out. You know what? We're going to keep it. Oh, I like that already for you, the star. That seems like a pretty good start. So we're going to keep that. And then let's see what else we can get that comes out. Whoop, okay. 6 of Swords. Okay. Something already about moving on to bigger and better things. Ooh, let's just not get too far ahead of myself, but let's just get one more from the tarot. Emperor. Okay, definitely something here about taking control of whatever your situation is currently for my singles who are watching. Moving on to bigger and better, you're seeing, okay, yeah, here we go. Let's just start with this. With the star, you are seeing your true value and your worth, your true, I guess your potential, but most of all, your true value, your true worth, your true beauty, inner and outer, because you have both the inner and the outer beauty. You may not see it or acknowledge it in yourself. It's always easier to see these things in other people than it is to see it in ourselves. So I completely understand that if that's where you are right now. Moving on to bigger and better things with our Six of Swords. Six of Swords is often about moving from a state of turbulence and perhaps uncertainty, unpredictability, just instability, to a place of calm and a place of safety and a place of just greater stability. And you're taking control. Let's get a little bit more here. Because there is this, you're taking control of your life, you're taking control of, there is taking control of your relationships, and it doesn't mean that you become a controlling person. It means that you're taking control. I'm getting this really big message about boundaries. You see your worth, so you don't let people like mistreat you anymore. You don't let people use you. I was going to say misuse, and Spirit just completely said, no, drop the miss. You do not let people use you anymore. Let's get a little bit more info. Okay, Two of Wands. Looking at your options, perhaps, and then Six of Pentacles. I see what's happening. You're adjusting your standards and your options. Like, well, what kind of person do I want? And maybe if you're in a situation where you are in an unhealthy relationship, or you're already maybe thinking about breaking up with this person, perhaps 2025 is when you become single, and perhaps that's how maybe you take control of this situation and your boundaries and your standards and stuff. And you're looking, your options. Well, I could stay and try and fix things and make things work, or I could go and be my own support and be my own love and be my own boss, be my own partner. And then you're, again, with the boundaries and the standards, like you are looking now for somebody that invests as much into the relationship as you do. I see what's happening here. So either it's a relationship you are leaving and you've been considering leaving, and for whatever reason you decided to watch the singles portion of this reading. Maybe you just wanted to sit for the whole thing. This is the confirmation. Maybe you're just looking for confirmation that you're going to make the right choice leaving a relationship and being single. Okay. And then because it just seems like either the relationship you are thinking of leaving or one that you had left already was very one-sided. You were the one that was putting in all the work. Perhaps, and these are pentacles, perhaps you were the one like paying all the bills and doing the rent and everything, and the person that, your ex-partner or whatever didn't actually contribute. Maybe they just didn't. And this is kind of a tough one with unemployment, because it's not always a person's fault. Because you can search and apply and really, really try hard, but just keep being rejected or ghosted or not hear back or whatever. But no, the energy here is that last person you were with did not even try. It would be different if they tried to get a job, but this last person, they didn't try, or they didn't even you're the one that was always texting them first. And you're always the one that was saying, I love you first, or the one that was always making the plans. And then, you kind of would step back and give them a chance to make the plans or plan the date night or whatever. And they wouldn't, they just wouldn't. Very one-sided. And that's so not fair. But let's see. But at the same time, yeah, that was horribly unfair, but it did shape your standards for a future partner. Okay. What else can we get here for our singles for pile 2? Oop. Okay, strength card. I'm going to try and move these so that you can see them all with hopefully as little light glare as possible. Okay, strength card. Yeah, something about tapping into your inner strength, your resiliency. But what else? Ace of Swords. Something about honesty or being honest, perhaps with yourself. Like, well, you know what? I didn't even really like that person anyway. I just wanted to be in a relationship. I just thought it would be better than being alone. And then what you realize, or this like truth that reveals itself to you, was like, actually, it is better to be alone than to be with somebody who is not good for you, or it's better to be alone than to be in a one-sided relationship. Because when you're in a one-sided relationship, you are basically alone the whole time anyway. Or, the truth that you learn about yourself is like, hell yeah, I am strong. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am worthy. I deserve better than what I was getting. 9 of Cups, wish come true. So for those of you that do want, who are single watching this and do want to get into a relationship, I do see Spirit being like, yeah, you know what? You can do that. You can have that in 2025. And then for those of you who just like got out of a situation or are, for whatever reason, you're in a relationship that you don't really want to be in anymore. So for some reason you're watching like the singles thing, maybe like I said earlier, you're looking for the validation, that like permission to leave. If that's what you want, then Spirit's like, hell yeah. Like, be your own lover, be your own partner, be your own rock, your own companion. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be single all year, though. I'm pulling way more cards for this group of singles than I did for the last group. Yeah, because I don't see you being like alone all year. For those of you that want another partner or, to get into a relationship, Queen of Pentacles. Now, the gender is not necessarily that important, but it is the energy present. A person you could be meeting or getting into a relationship with in 2025. Queen of Pentacles, somebody who's very self-assured and self-sufficient, who is not going to rely on you for every little thing. Perhaps your last relationship that was one-sided or whatever, that person relied on you for everything, and you, like we'd seen earlier, where maybe you were the one that was contributing everything financially and they weren't even trying, because again, there is a difference between trying and not being able to, and then not trying and just not bothering and not doing it. For those of you who are single right now, but wish to get into a relationship, yeah, this is going to be like a breath of fresh air for you, because it's someone who can actually take care of themselves. He or she, again, the gender, not important, can actually take care of themselves, and it's like they fill their own cup, so they're not always relying on your validation either. It doesn't have to just be about money and materials. Like, they feel secure in who they are already. They don't need your validation, but they, still like it and still would want it, because it is only natural to want the validation and the approval of the person that we love and are in a relationship with. But this person doesn't they don't require it. They don't need your validation in the way that they need oxygen, right? So they can take care of themselves. And that gives you actually a lot more, it leaves you with a lot more energy and a lot more free time and a lot more resources left over. Judgment. Yeah, this person that's coming in 2025, I'm not going to say they're literally a judgmental person. I don't get that vibe looking at this card, but it's somebody who's very, first of all, very assertive and very confident. Perhaps they've been single for a long time and are just used to, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make this choice and this is what I think and this is what I'm going to do. And, you know, because they were perhaps single and doing everything for themselves, they didn't require permission or anything from others. And then some, you know, when you get into a relationship, there are some things where you do need joint consent, or you need to at least give your partner a heads up before you do something. That could be a bit of an adjustment for you in pile 2 here. But yeah, give it this judgment. Somebody that's very assertive. They know what they want and they're confident in their decisions. And I think you're going to learn a lot just from watching them. Because meanwhile, really what I pick up for you guys in pile 2 is that you've come from a place of needing other people's approval in order to feel like what you did was valid and good enough, or like that who you are is valid and good enough. Yeah, you're going to be watching this person who stands up for herself or himself, and they teach you kind of to do the same thing. Like, no, don't let that person walk on you. Don't let that person mistreat you. You call them out on that behavior. Where maybe in the past you were just conditioned to politely ignore, or, you know, to, okay, yeah, whatever, you think that way and I'll just pray for you or whatever. And, you know, maybe you thought the nice thing to do, or the proper thing to do would be to roll over and fawn and let them have their way and then silently, you know, condemn them later. No, this partner that's coming into your life, coming in 2025, is going to be like, no, you have a lot to learn. So yeah, they're going to teach you how to stand up for yourself. And okay, I see how perhaps this gets you from, oh my gosh, we have so many cards here. It gets you from that place of people pleasing. You're a recovering people pleaser, I think. You guys for pile 2, group 2. Yeah, this person that's coming into your life, into a relationship with you, they teach you how to assert yourself, how to stand up for yourself. Not necessarily to be aggressive, but to just, to hold your own. And maybe that's what helps you to take better control of your life or other relationships around you, other maybe situations around you. And that helps kind of bring you into this place of like better stability, better happiness, because you're more sure of yourself. And they help kind of to teach you about your worth. You know, maybe they kind of help you uncover why you became such a people pleaser who didn't stand up for themselves in the first place. And then they kind of help you to challenge like those beliefs about yourself. Oh my goodness. Maybe this is very specific, but maybe the person you get into a relationship with, maybe they are actually a therapist by trade. You know, they very well could be, because it seems like the lessons you're learning from them are things that you would 100% learn in therapy through a professional. This is a very wise person. Now, they don't have to be a professional therapist, but if they are, then, you know, that's awesome. That's great. But if they're not, they're very wise and have probably spent a lot of time in therapy themselves. So I think this is a great message for you so far. We're going to do some runes. Now, volume warning, because when I mix these around, they get very loud. Okay. These two came up blank, but we have the Wunjo rune, And that is the letter W, even though it looks kind of like a P, but it's a letter W. So that could be significant to you in some way. Perhaps your partner or the person coming into your life, perhaps their name begins with a W. There could be something significant. Maybe Wednesday or something is a significant day of the week or something. Anyway, this Winjo rune is all about joy. Yeah, so I love seeing this. You're going from recovering people pleaser who struggles to maybe feel happy and assured and valid without other people's approval to now becoming someone that you feel good about your choices, about yourself, about your beliefs, your opinions, your views, whatever. You genuinely feel good about it because this person has shown you how to feel good about yourself without external validation. I also get here with this Winjo rune, it's kind of shaped like a flag, okay? You're becoming more aware of the red flags in people. We did kind of see earlier where you were maybe looking at your options, those who are thinking of breaking up with someone, but also looking at like your standards, what you will and won't tolerate. This kind of builds on that, where you're learning, okay, well, that behavior in this last person I was with, okay, that was at the time you didn't know any different, but now this time around you're like, okay, if I see that again in a potential partner, I will know that's a red flag. And then you do with that whatever you choose to do with that. Yeah, you're learning just as much as you're learning what you want in your next partner, you're learning what you don't want. And I love seeing this for you. It's going to recognizing people's red flags, or, some people have, I would say maybe yellow flag, where it's like, well, that could potentially become something problematic, but there are very few situations, I think, where somebody holds up a yellow flag. But you're able to sort of judge, though, like, well, okay, we're gonna let this one kind of wait and see, and then if my suspicions that it's wrong are correct, then I'll know what to do. If it turns out it was, something innocent or harmless or whatever came off wrong, then, you'll know what to do. But either way, so this is a really good message for you. I love seeing this. You're much more choosy, which is actually really good. I think that's what helps to attract this assertive and confident partner into your life. You becoming choosy attracts a person that you definitely would choose, and that will help you to become better at, choosing. And it's not just in your romantic relationships. This person can help you to become more choosy with who you decide to invite into your heart as a friend, who you decide to trust at work, who you decide to just trust in general. Helping you to trust your gut feelings and helping you to trust your intuition and to trust yourself and your own ability to know what's best for you and to make the choices that are going to be best for you. Now, we're going to pull a Moonology card for my singles watching group 2. Let's see what we get. Just a little bit of extra. It could be advice, could be insight, just an extra message from Spirit for my singles in group 2, pile 2. A time for healing, balsamic moon. I'm not an astrologer. I said this to group 1 that I'm not an astrologer. I know the phases of the moon. I know a little bit about the zodiac. I don't know what the hell a balsamic moon is. It makes me think of balsamic vinegar, which kind of makes me want like a salad or something now. But anyway, the point here, time for healing. And we did see that earlier. You're recognizing your worth. You're taking those steps towards trusting yourself, your intuition. This is going to bring about great healing. And then having this new person come into your life, for those of you who wish to get into a relationship again, they're going to help you to heal as well. Heal from the people pleasing, heal from the fawning and walking on eggshells and prioritizing other people's happiness above your own when you really do not have to. So this is an awesome message for you, for my singles in group 2. I'm very happy for you. Congrats. And I wish you all the best on your journey. Those are the messages I have for you for my singles. I'm going to go ahead and put all of these back and then get messages for those who are in relationship who chose pile 2. Okay, pile 2, for those of you who are already in a relationship and are looking for further, love predictions for 2025, this will be for you. So I'm going to get shuffled. And we'll see if anything falls out. It falls out and we'll keep it. But if not, that's all right. Okay, we had 1. Okay, Page of Cups. Ooh, I like this, but I won't get too ahead of myself just yet. But with Page of Cups, I see something about like youthful energy, bringing some kind of youthful energy into your relationship. Perhaps you're a little bit older watching this and you've maybe been married or you've been together for a very long time, and there's some kind of like injecting this energy of like fun, childlike joy, or like something about connecting like you did when you were younger. Anyway, let's just keep going here. 7 of Wands. 2 of Swords. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to continue with that first thing that I was getting from Spirit, those impressions with the Page of Cups, where we were talking about injecting more youthful energy into your relationship, kind of mixing things up a little bit. Taking the time to be more playful. I see a more playful energy entering your relationship. More playful. There are things that you're currently taking very seriously that you may not have to take quite so seriously. And you're just kind of letting things flow and you're having fun. You're having fun together. I see that. Actually, I really feel that like overall for your relationship here. You're having fun together. 7 of Wands and 2 of Swords. Yeah, it does seem like you've had a lot of stresses lately. You've both had a lot on your plates. Like there could be, job responsibilities and personal care and obligations and appointments and maybe family responsibilities. And just a whole lot of stuff that you've had to do and a lot of work. There's something that's just been really difficult and has taken a lot of work and has taken a lot of time. And maybe it hasn't left you a lot of time or energy to be silly and have fun. With this 2 of Swords, you're like, is this just what adult life is? Is this just what marriage is? Is this just fill in the blank, what blank is? And Spirit's like, no. It's part of it sometimes. But you're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to be joyful, even though you've been very busy. You are allowed to make some aspects of work fun. You are allowed to take joy in all these daily responsibilities that you have. You are allowed to find ways to make it fun or to make it enjoyable or to take it less seriously, in that what you take seriously is important, but you also don't let it, you don't let it like control you. Like an example, just something I'm seeing from Spirit is like maybe a responsibility that you have is going to the grocery store and, you got to take your kids with you, and it's a chore, depending on how little your kids might be. And it's a chore because you are trying to, maybe you forgot the list in the car, and you're trying to keep the kids together from running off in the separate directions, or trying to keep them from touching everything, or you're, trying to like, okay, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. We got to go to the store. And then after this, we got to go put gas in the car. And then we got to do this. And it's just, it's something you have to do, but you really dread it and you hate it because of how much work it's become. Well, maybe there's a way to make it more fun. Maybe you go through the automatic doors and you, again, like let's say your kids are little, right? And you're like, okay, use the Force and you hold your hand up and pretend to be a Jedi using the Force to open the automatic door at the grocery store. That can be really fun. I mean, I don't have children and I am 29 years old and I still pretend to use the Force to open the door at Walmart. It's fun. It's silly. It makes a boring, laborious task less of a pain in the ass. Or maybe you make it, maybe your kids are a little older and you can trust them with going to a different aisle on their own. You pretend it's like a scavenger hunt. You know, you give them the list or part of the list or something and you're like, okay, I need you to go and find these things. It's a game. And then like, I need you two to go over into this aisle and go find this. And then we're all going to meet back here in the dairy section and you're going to put what you found in the cart and we're going to score up your points or whatever. Like that's very specific. That's not going to resonate with everyone, but that's something Spirit wanted me to share. One way in which you can make a laborious daily responsibility less of a pain. Something else I'm seeing with this Page of Cups, maybe for those of you who do not already have children, there is still something about bringing like a child's energy into your relationship. So you could actually be thinking of having a child or adopting a child or perhaps fostering. There are multiple ways in order to become parents, but there is something here about you're thinking of becoming parents and adding a child to your family through whatever means is best for you and works well for you. Whatever means that you choose, right? So there's something there with that. But it is hard work and you've been discussing that, I see. Where, okay, well, how are we going to divide the responsibilities? You know, maybe your partner works away or you work away and you're trying to figure out, well, okay, if we have children, you know, how are we going to make it work so that we're both home every night and both sharing in the responsibilities? And that's what's going to help you to make your choice, whether you go ahead with you know, having a child or adopting, whatever, at this time in this year or not. We'll see what else we can get. This is also going to be quite specific. I'm going to put a little trigger warning for infertility because I know that can be very distressing for some people to talk about or hear about or, you know, have referenced. But maybe you are already trying for a child and it's been really tough and it feels like it's not working and you're like, do I give up? Do I not? Maybe, you know, you're doing all the routines, you're going to the special appointments that you need and you're doing the injections and stuff at home. Cause I know for some people you have to do that and you're following your fertility cycles and, oh, well, we shouldn't do it on this day because there's no point, or, oh, we have to on this day or else it's not, you know, that's the only day. And maybe Spirit's like, just relax a little bit. Geez, like do what you need to do, follow your doctor, you know, the professional's advice, but like, just like chill a bit. Like you don't be so uptight over this, like just relax. And okay, so you know, this particular day in your cycle, oh, well, I'm not fertile this day, so there's no point doing this. Well, who cares? Do it anyway. Because maybe that's going to just be fun for you and your partner. You can still enjoy sex during this time without the pressure of, oh my gosh, is this going to give us a baby or not? Because when you are in that trying to conceive state, now again, I don't have children, but I spent almost 10 years in early childhood education. And I've seen lots of families go through this. And I've talked to several moms and a bunch of my friends now are moms who some of them have been through this where sex and intimate connection becomes a chore because they're only concerned about the outcome, which is the baby, and not about the fun and the connection and the special bonding together. Spirit's just like, relax, just enjoy it because you enjoy being with each other. What's going to come and what's going to happen is going to happen. And Spirit's like, I'm going to take care of this. It's okay. It's all right. Just relax and have fun right now. Now, I don't mean for that to be insensitive at all, and no insult or offense was intended there. But that was just another little, another little example there from Spirit. It doesn't have to necessarily be you're trying for a baby or whatever. It's just really the general message here. It's like, relax, have fun, enjoy the relationship, enjoy the daily responsibilities, enjoy the work that you have to do. Yes, this is part of adult relationships, or it is part of marriage, it is part of adult life, but it doesn't mean that it has to suck every single time. So let's see what else we get. Oh, look at that, the star. The best thing for you is what's going to come up in 2025. For those, let's say, who are struggling to have a baby and you're doing everything correctly, but you're just not relaxing. You're so focused and attached to that baby outcome. Perhaps when you relax and you release your attachment, that's when it happens. Or, not the baby example. Let's move on to something else where you're struggling to enjoy everyday life because it's like, ugh, it's so boring. It's just everything is a chore. Everything is a task. Everything is so boring. Like, I'm just so drained. Why is everything so hard? Why does everything suck? And then you start to relax and make it more fun. Like with the grocery store example, where you found a way to make it fun, whether you have children or not. You can make it if you can be an adult and still make grocery shopping into a game for yourself if you really want to. And then it's like, oh, look at that. I found the joy. I found, it's like, oh, look at that. Like, I found like a better way. Yeah, just more joy, or like, oh, wow. Like, I'm really proud of myself for doing all these things on my to-do list and not complaining about it, or like I'm not feeling mentally and emotionally and all that drained by it. Best possible outcome here with the star for your relationship. Now let's get a little bit more into this. I think you are also getting confirmation for my couples for group 2 that you are in the best relationship for you. And it's mutual. It's not just like, well, I'm the best he can get, but I'm sure I could do better. No, it's we are perfect for each other. This is like a blessed match. I'm getting that from Spirit, a blessed match. Knight of Pentacles, stability. Maybe for those of you who are still thinking about whether or not to have children or add a child to your family, and you're working out how are we going to divide the responsibilities, how we went through that and how that was going to make or break your decision. You do figure out the best course of action to take, and that like Spirit kind of opens up that path to make that possible. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles here where it's like there's the stability and sometimes that's the predictability, but the energy here feels different. You can find joy in the predictability of like, okay, well, here's my daily routine. We get up, we get the kids ready for daycare or for school or whatever. I go to work, we go to work, or this person goes to work and I take care of the house, whatever it is that you do in your routine. But you start to find joy in that everyday routine. And you kind of like start to find that joy again, that like for your long-term commitment. Because I feel like those of you who are in relationships who chose this pile, you've been together a very long time. Could be marriage, could be common law, could just, be two people who love each other and live together. But either way, it's been a long time. And sometimes things can get a little bit stale or a little bit stagnant in a relationship. And it doesn't mean you don't love each other, and it doesn't mean things are unhealthy. It just means maybe you've just, I don't know. Could be that you've just gotten a little bit too serious. Well, this is our adult relationship and this is what, this is how it is. And being silly and having fun, well, that's for dating, and we're not dating. We've been together long term. No, you can still be silly and have fun. And you find ways to inject that joy into your long-term commitment, and find different ways, I think, newer and different ways to enjoy each other as spouses, as partners. Okay. And a lot of people, and perhaps this is you, but a lot of people do find comfort in the stability in the daily routine. Perhaps you will eventually start to find comfort in that instead of dreading it every day and being drained by it. What else do we get? I had the Knight of Wands come flying out. Interesting. Okay. Knight of Wands here. I'm gonna have to be careful how I word it because sometimes YouTube is okay with like talking about sex and sexual relationships, and sometimes YouTube is like, no, censor, we can't, demonetize, don't show it in the algorithm, right? So I'm gonna have to just be a little careful. It doesn't mean that I'm not comfortable talking about this or whatever. It's literally just because I don't want to be, I don't want to be quieted by Google. But I do see with this Knight of Wands, perhaps what can inject more joy into your long-term partnership is like you spice up something in your sex life. And maybe you just end up with more energy so that, like, let's say you are both older, so that maybe your sex life does kind of go back to being the way it was when you were younger and you had more energy or you had more time. And I like seeing that, especially for those who've been together a very long time, because that can become a little bit stale too. Sometimes you just do the same, it's the same routine every night or every whatever, however, it doesn't matter how often that you do this. But sometimes couples do fall into a routine where it's the same thing and it becomes a chore, it becomes very mechanical, or it becomes very, like you just kind of go into autopilot and, you know, and I see where that is changing for you for 2025. Knight of Wands, that the Knights are also quite youthful. They're quite vigorous. That word vigorous, that word vigor comes in. And it's hard to see that in the Kawaii Tarot, but in a lot of other tarot decks, it is like a young guy and he's like on a stallion. He's holding a great big wooden rod. Okay, I think you guys can put the dots together here. So that's looking good. And maybe there's something about just relaxing a little bit more and that improves your sex life together, especially for those who are maybe trying to have a baby or something like that. Either way, whether you want kids as the outcome or not really is not important in this particular case. There is just that, that injection of more, like, there's more energy, there's more fun, it's more invigorating. Again, with like vigorous and invigorating. Spirit's like giving me those words. But it becomes a lot more fun. It becomes a lot spicier and a lot hotter. The wands are actually like the fire suit. So it's like, maybe there is just like when I make this noise. The mental image I'm trying to describe is like a fire picking up, you know, where it's maybe just embers that are burning and then all of a sudden it really picks up and starts roaring. I see that maybe happening for your sex life. Not just maybe, I do see that happening for your sex life, for my couples for group 2. So that is pretty interesting. So yeah, there's just, you don't have to be so uptight over something, and you don't have to, there are aspects of your life and your relationship and stuff that you no longer have to dread or treat as a chore, because you can find ways to make it fun. You can find ways to make it fulfilling, or find ways to change it up in such a way so that you're not just stuck in that same routine day in and day out. I'm gonna have a drink of water and then we'll be right back. Yeah, there's just greater chances for just more joy, more success in whatever it is that you're trying to do here if you and your partner just relax and stop being so uptight and stop being so serious about it. And you kind of just go with the flow with this whatever happens kind of a vibe. This like, you know what, this is daily life. And if we're going to have to do this over and over again, we might as well find ways to enjoy it. Okay. So I love seeing that for you guys. You're getting out of some kind of a rut that you've been in together. Volume warning, runes are a little bit loud when I mix them around. Okay, So those three came up with nothing, and then we have this one here, just a second. So this rune is Rido, letter R, and it's the ride. Rido, ride. The journey, the process. And what I'm getting from this is that for my couples in pile 2 here, you're learning to, and just enjoy the process, the ride that is everyday life being together, that ride that is long-term relationship or is marriage or is family life. You're learning how to enjoy it together while still injecting a nice, fun, and youthful energy that maybe you just haven't had present in your relationship in a long time. Now, we're going to pull a Moonology card. Any extra advice or insight or information or whatever it is that Spirit wants to share for those of you in group 2 who are coupled up. What do we got? Feeling drawn to this one. Expect powerful change. Okay, so there's new moon eclipse. So, I mean, perhaps the new moons each month could be something significant to you. Do we have any eclipses? I was scheduled, as if the universe is like, okay, we're going to schedule an eclipse for this day at this time at this year. Are there any expected for 2025? I actually haven't looked into that. It would be really cool. And if there are, then that could be a very important time for you. Maybe there's something energetically that's very important for you, but most of all, you're getting expect powerful change. Yeah, if you've been doing the same thing every day, day in, day out, the same way, autopilot, it's a chore, it's become very mechanical, like we've already talked about, that's changing. Your routine is changing up. The attitude that you have about your routine is changing. And that is going to make things more joyful. It's going to help you, like I've been saying over and over again, to enjoy your everyday life as a married couple or a long-term couple, as a family, as people who are trying to build a family, create a family together, build a family. Now I'm just like seeing like people building up like children out of Lego or something. I don't know. Anyway, but it's going to be huge for your marriage or your long-term connection. I'm just saying marriage, but I love this. You're not stuck in this everyday rut. This is my life now. What have I done? No. You will have your routines and your things you need to do, but I think there will be more flexibility. That's what I feel. There will be more flexibility. There will be just a different perspective on it, and enjoying it and appreciating it and finding ways to just feel better about what it is that you are currently doing that is part of your routine. I love seeing here with the star that the best thing for you is what is going to happen. You will come up with, if there's something you're trying to find a solution for, you will find that solution. And not only will you find a solution, you will find the one that's going to benefit you and your partner, or you and your household, your family. Powerful change. This is such a good message for you guys. You're not going to be stuck in the boring, oh my God, adult life. What have I done? No. This is good. This is good news. Those are all the messages that I have for you, though, for my coupled up individuals who are listening to this reading right now. Private readings are open, so if you wanted to look into this in a more in-depth and a more personalized way, because pick-a cards are really good. You do get all kinds of really good insights and stuff, but they're general, right? They're for larger groups. If you wanted a one-on-one reading, you can absolutely book that with me. It's the link is in the description, but you can go to calendly.com/wildrosetc and you'll be able to book yourself with their calendar booking app. It's very easy, very simple. Or, you know, just email me, wildrosетc@gmail.com, and we can always chat and set something up together. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here and taking the time to listen to these messages, and for, you know, the likes, the subscribes, the comments, whatever. But mostly I'm just grateful that you're here to listen and to allow Spirit to give messages to you through me and through the readings that I do on this channel. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you again next time. Bye.